What is going on, guys? Paul James here, and in this video we're going to talk about the best way to start a lead generation business. So if you're looking for a way that you can put up a website and earn upwards of $700 to $1,000 a month passively once that website is up, then you definitely need to stick around and watch this entire video, because I'm going to tell you the best way to start. Now, you may have heard of lead generation before, and you may be wondering, is lead generation still a viable business model for 2022 and beyond? And I think the answer is absolutely yes, especially with everything else around us, going down and crashing. Lead generation is going to be a business model that I believe is in a prime position to thrive, because business owners are always going to need more leads. So if you're able to set up assets all over the internet, websites and things like this that are automatically passively generating leads for these business owners, and you're getting paid for it, business owners will want to buy them as long as they're turning into paying customers for them. And that's exactly what I want to share with you how to get started with today in this video. Now, you may be wondering if this is something that a beginner could do without a lot of experience. And the answer is yes and no. So no, if you pick a niche that is too competitive, or you start off with something that, just is going to be way too competitive for you. If you do that, then this is going to be challenging for you as a beginner. However, if you do it the way that I show you how to do it, you can actually succeed. This is a website. I haven't actually even touched this website in, it must be at least a year or two that I've actually gone in and touched the website. I don't think we've touched it. In fact, just looking at this call log here shows me that maybe I need to find someone else to actually take the leads, because we've only been able to bill them for $180 in the last 7 days. And the reason why, that's still good, don't get me wrong, right? That's still good, but this is a beginner niche, why I'm showing you this one. But the reason why it's bad is because they did receive 14 calls and they missed 11 of them, meaning they didn't answer the phone. So had they answered the phone, well, that $180 quickly could have turned into maybe $1,000 or more if they would have just answered the phone. So me not looking at this for a while definitely probably cost me some money. So this is probably one I will revisit and maybe find a new client for. But I'm showing you this just to prove that even as a beginner, you can go in and you can make some good money doing this. This is an example of a beginner site, and it's a beginner site because I haven't had to touch it. It's in a relatively low competition niche and location where it just is, once it's set up, you can just kind of forget about it. And just in case you're wondering what a lead generation website looks like, well, it just looks like a regular company website that you might see on the internet. So here's another site of mine. This one is a roofing website, and this is what most of our websites that we set up for lead generation look like. They have a generic company name. So this isn't like a Bob's Roofing Pros or something like that. Like, this is just a generic company name. We named it after the city. And then the site is just set up just like you would see a regular company website set up. The main thing is that we're driving call to actions to a phone number or a form. It just depends how you want to sell your leads. And what we do actually is we turn our forms into phone calls automatically. So we really don't care whether or not they submit the phone number or the form. Also, if you're wondering where to get phone numbers for your lead generation websites, we use a tracking service to do that. And the phone numbers, then we can track all the calls that come in and we can automate it further. I'll leave a link below to a special offer going on right now on the service I use for tracking phone numbers. Okay, so with that being said, let's talk about the best place to start when it comes to lead generation. And the best place to start, in my opinion, is actually picking a niche and a location that you want to go into. Now, this is by far the most important part, especially if you're a beginner getting started. And the reason why is because picking a niche and a location is a lot like building a house. And what I mean by that is, when you start building a house, you're going to start with the foundation, right? And it's important that the foundation of a house is done correctly, because if we start building the walls and the roof and the foundation isn't done correctly, well, everything else could collapse. The walls could come crashing down, the windows break, the roof comes crashing down, all because you didn't do the foundation correctly. Well, with niche and location when it comes to lead gen, it's like the foundation of a house. You really want to make sure it's done correctly. So that's what we're going to spend our time focused on in this video today. If you're a beginner, you're going to walk away from this video today with the confidence to go and enter a niche, knowing that your foundation is not going to collapse on you. And if you're experienced, you will walk away too with knowing better ways to find niches and locations that are going to be profitable for you and actually make you money passively. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you how I start to come up with niche ideas. And by the way, if at any time throughout this video a question pops into your mind that you need an answer to, please leave it in the comment section below and I will definitely answer that question in a future video. So I like to start on lead generation websites such as HomeAdvisor, Angie's List, Thumbtack, things like that. And the reason why is because they are doing massive amounts of money in the lead generation industry. And if we can model what they're doing by looking at the niches that are already working for them, why reinvent the wheel? Why should we go and spend all of our marketing dollars trying to figure out what's going to work, what's not, when they've already done that for us? So what I recommend you do is just go to a website like HomeAdvisor and start scrolling through their website until you come up with ideas. So we can see here some of the most popular niches. They'll call them projects: plumbing, kitchen remodel, bathroom remodel, windows, doors, roofing, gutters, electrical, and computers. You get the point. But we could come up with niche ideas for days and days and days just by coming on one single website and browsing around. So once you've decided on a niche, the next part is location. And I recommend you go into this having like a general idea of where you want to target. Now, if you're somewhere else in the world, not in the United States, that's okay. You can either do lead generation from your country, or you can target the United States or another country like Canada where lead generation might be easier. Because of the fact we're not cold calling or meeting face to face to get clients or anything like that, because of that, it doesn't matter where you live or where you reside, because this is a business that runs passively once you put in the work to set it all up. Especially if you have tracking software in place to do that for you. If you don't have tracking software in place to do it for you, well, then it's not going to run so passively. But tracking software makes that possible, like the one I showed you at the beginning of this video. So let's just pretend that we had settled on an area. And if you're not sure of an area, just zoom out on the map and just look at an area and pick something. But let's just say we think we want to target this Grand Rapids area of Michigan. So what I would want to do is, instead of going after Grand Rapids, my guess is that's going to be pretty competitive because it's a bigger city. Instead, what I like to do is I like to just kind of zoom out on the map a little bit and look at some of these smaller cities that surround it, because this is typically going to be the suburbs, and there's going to be homeowners still in that area that are going to be searching and needing services, and then there will be contractors that will serve that area too. So let's just say, for example, that we decided on Sand Lake. We wanted to start our research there. So what I might do, the first thing I might do is go into Google and type in a keyword that would probably be related to that, which would be, I guess, roofer, Sand Lake, Michigan. And what I would do is I would just scroll through and look and see, do I notice any competitors? So you can look at the map pack, although the map pack isn't generally that important when you're doing lead generation, at least when you're first starting out. I'll start to explore doing stuff with Google Maps once I actually have a client, but until I do, I usually ignore this. So we're gonna drop down past the map pack and start looking at this area. So what I'm looking for are direct competitors. I'm not concerned with directory sites like Angie's List or HomeAdvisor or Yellow Pages, any of those types. I wanna see actual competitors here. And if I don't see an actual competitor here, that means that this is a very, very beginner-friendly niche. Once I start to see maybe 3 or more competitors here, I start to question if this is something that I want to enter. But as you can see, this is just basically directory sites. You know, we've got our Manta, our Porch, our Yellow Pages. So I would scroll through the whole first page and I would take a look. Now, if I did find a competitor on here, what I would do is I would grab their website URL and I would punch it into Google just like this. I would put it in quotation marks. So melvinbelkroofing.com, I'd put it in quotation marks. And then I would put in URL, and then I would put their name again. What this is doing is this is basically telling Google, hey Google, I wanna see everything, every other website out on the internet that has this website listed on it, other than their own site. So what we can actually see here then is we can see that there's just a couple sites here. This Bitverso and sitesimilar.net are the only sites that have Melvin Belk Roofing listed, which signifies to me that this is not competitive at all. Because if it was competitive, there would probably be hundreds of other websites that were talking about melvinbelkroofing.com and were linking back to them. This is also known as backlinks. So this is just an extra step that you can take. You don't have to take this step, but it's an extra step you can take which will really kind of help build up your confidence that you're entering a good niche. So that is the steps that I take to start a lead generation business. Once I've done this, I'm confident on my niche, I'm confident on my location, and I'm ready to get started and build a site that looks something like this. Now, if you're new at lead generation and you're not sure where to start, or you're looking for a better way to automate things and get more clients and make more money, then I'd highly encourage you to check out the first link in the description of this video, because it's access to the tracking software I use, as well as all the training that I use to actually build sites exactly like the one I showed you today that go on to make $700 to $1,000 a month or more automatically. In fact, I even have a case study that you will get access to in that link that will show you how I took the site that you saw, the roofing site, from $0 to $700 a month passively in just 30 days. So check that link out if you're interested. I've got a very special deal going on right now on that that's not gonna last much longer. Anyways, guys, I hope that you enjoyed this video. Again, if you have any questions or comments that you'd like answered in a future video, please leave it below so that I can answer it. Smash a like on it if you enjoyed this video, and don't forget to subscribe and follow me with notifications turned on, because I will update you the next time I post another tutorial, so you're definitely not gonna wanna miss that. Anyways, until next time, guys, I am Paul James. We'll see you in another video. Peace out.